2. Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame update show. We have a great NFC East matchup going on tonight. The Cowboys and the Giants. And we'll talk about what I think of what's going to happen. I'll give my Thursday Night Football pick of the week. And I will let you know who I am taking. And we'll talk about what I feel should happen. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 4 trivia question. And it's a Cowboys trivia question. Which Cowboy was the Sporting News Man of the Year in 1996? I'll have the answer later in the podcast. Well, it's Thursday Night Football Week 4. We have a great NFC East matchup for you tonight that's going on right now. The Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants will have their clash at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The first two home games for Dallas were ones to forget, with back-to-back losses, the most recent coming from the Baltimore Ravens. The high-powered Cowboys offense has looked anything but the pressure is already on to get back on the winning track. New York is finally in the win column, and it has found its next star in the process. Malik Neighbors caught 2 touchdown passes and has given up his desperate offense spark. Could the Giants have unlocked something? Be gaining momentum toward a big clash with their rival? We'll see tonight. And right now it's 14-6 Cowboys. Second quarter, 6:23 to go to halftime. 4th and 1 at the Giants 49, and the Giants have the ball. Now, when Daniel Jones and the Giants faced the Cowboys at home in Week 1 last season, the quarterback was sacked 7 times by Dallas en route to a 40-0 loss. Jones has faced the Cowboys 8 times in his career, tied with Washington for his most appearances against a single opponent, but no team has ever sacked him nearly as many times as Dallas has. Now, the Cowboys have a 13-1 record against the Giants since the start of the 2017 season. New York's sole victory in that span came in Week 17 of the 2020 season. Dak Prescott has won 12 straight games against the Giants. So we're going to have to see what happens in this game tonight. And right now, and I'm going to, here's a preview that I am going to read to you right now. Excuse me. And this could go with the Dallas Cowboys are off to a slow start, and concerns are already mounting after 2 straight losses at home. The anxiety in Big D could reach a tipping point on Thursday night when the Cowboys, who are 1-2, travel to face the Giants, who are also 1-2. Both New Orleans and Baltimore played well against Dallas. However, the Cowboys have dominated the Giants of late. They have won the past 6 games, as I mentioned, and 13-14 overall. In their 2 games last season, Dallas won by a combined margin of 89-17. It's the biggest point differential the Cowboys have had in 2 games against the NFC East rival in a season. Coach Mike McCarthy didn't want to talk about the past like the Giants coach Brian Daboll has been focused. He has been focused on Thursday night. I talk to them every day. I have a team meeting every day, said McCarthy, whose team had a 16-game winning streak at home before the recent losses. I have an opportunity, obviously, to talk to the offense more. We understand where we are. We're 1-2. We have our first division game in front of us. Giants safety Jason Pinnock looks at Thursday's game as a new opportunity. My apology goes toward my big brother, Pinnock said. We joke about this all the time, and it's sort of like he probably beat on me for 12 years, but that 13th, I'm going to bust your butt is what it is. it is what it is. All-Pro receiver CeeDee Lamb was uh, animated in the presence of Dak Prescott with with an offense struggling against Baltimore, appearing to call for more targets. With the Cowboys on their way to a three-touchdown deficit, it took 2 days for Lamb to face reporters, but the Mia Culp finally came through. Quite honestly, I failed myself, and obviously, I failed the team just as far as producing and being that game breaker player, and obviously a guy they can lean on. Excuse me, Lamb said. I can I kind of let the game get to my head a little bit. The same thing happened a year ago in a 42-10 loss at San Francisco when Lamb tied his season low with 4 catches and had just 49 yards receiving. He responded with 4 consecutive 100-yard games. I plan on doing that again, Lamb said after a pause, smile, and a chuckle when reminded of the visit to the 49ers. The previous time the Cowboys and Giants played, Prescott threw for 404 yards and four touchdowns. That has to be a concern with New York's secondary banged up. Mike McLeod hurt a knee in the opener and has missed the past 2 games. And fellow quarterbacks Drew Phillips and Adoree Jackson left with a calf injury Sunday and are out for Thursday. Expect Trey Hawkins to be active this week. Dallas has never played on the road on 3 days rest. According to the team, the Cowboys always host a Thanksgiving Day game, which is the first explanation for such a statistical quirk. McCarthy didn't know off the top of his head how many times Green Bay played on the road on a Thursday after a Sunday in his 12 plus seasons in charge of the Packers. It was 5 times, including just before he was fired, 12 games into the 2018 season when the Packers went to Seattle. The first 4 were all trips to Detroit, which is about 500 miles from Green Bay, compared to the 1,500 miles separating Dallas and New York. First time you go through it, you have a different feeling, said McCarthy, who is in his 5th season with the Cowboys. We're going to play 2 Thursday games. It's just a part of playing for the Cowboys. I guess I'm used to it. Starting running back Devin Singletary has lost fumbles on the Giants' opening possession of the second half the past 2 weeks. He's worked on it the past few days. You gotta get back to the fundamentals, he said. It goes a long way, and that's what we're doing now. Singletary has 5,468 yards from scrimmage on 1,114 touches in 5 plus seasons. He has fumbled 16 times. DePaul is sticking with Greg Joseph as his kicker, despite seeing him miss his only field goal attempt Sunday. Joseph was signed off the Lions practice squad last week after Grano injured a hamstring chasing down a returner on the opening kickoff against Washington. The injury hurt New York in the 21-18 loss. Punter Jamie Gillian missed an extra point, and New York failed on 2 two-point attempts. So that's just what the preview, and that's kind of what the preview was. And I'll give you my Thursday night pick in just a moment. But right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 4 trivia question. Which Cowboy was the Sporting News Man of the Year in 1996? If you said Cowboys great, Emmitt Smith, you are correct. Emmitt Smith was named the Sporting News Man of the Year in 1996. Uh, the award recognizes individuals' outstanding achievements and contributions to the sport. Smith, who was a star running back for the Dallas Cowboys, had an exceptional season in 1996, leading the league in rushing yards and touchdowns. His impressive performance and impact on the team made him a deserving recipient of this prestigious award. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Uh, and I'm going to give you my Thursday night football pick of the week, and I am going with the Dallas Cowboys to win this one because I feel even though it's in MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where the Giants play, but I feel Dallas is going to get the win. They want to even up at 2-2, but I know the Giants do as well. And it's 14 to 6. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go to halftime. Second and 14 at the Dallas. The Giants have the ball, and I'm gonna tell you where we have been so far. First quarter, Dallas had the point after going 3-and-out, 3 plays, 5 yards. Giants tried to score a touchdown. They got into field goal range. 4th and 4 at the Dallas 34. Greg Joseph, it's a 52-yard field goal was good, and it was 3-0 Cowboys. But before that, 3-10 at the Dallas 40. Daniel Jones passed short right to Robinson at the Dallas 34 for 6 yards, and by that they got the field goal range, so they set up for a field goal. It was 3-0 Giants. The Cowboys scored their first touchdown of the game. After that, Dak Prescott's pass short left to Dowdle for the 15-yard touchdown. Aubrey's extra point was good, and it was 7-3 Cowboys. The Giants tried to score a touchdown, but they're going to Daniel Jones pass short right to Malik Neighbors to the Dallas 22 for 3 yards, and and then they got in the field goal range. 4th and 6 at the Dallas 22. Greg Joseph's 41-yard field goal was good, and it was 7-6 Giants at the end of the first quarter. The Cowboys scored their second touchdown of the game. Dak Prescott passed deep to CeeDee Lamb for the 55-yard touchdown. Penalty on CeeDee Lamb, taunting 15 yards enforced between downs. Aubrey's extra point is good, and it was 14-6 Cowboys, and right now there was a penalty. It was 1st and 10 at the Dallas 22. Daniel Jones pass it completed short left to Robinson. Penalty on Illumer. Ineligible downfield. Pass 5 yards enforced at the Dallas 22 for no play. Now it's a 1st and 15 at the Dallas 27. Devin Singletary left guard to the Dallas for 1 yard. Dallas 26. And right now, 2nd 14 at the Dallas 26. We just had happen. Daniel Jones pass short left to Malik Neighbors to the Dallas 21 for 5 yards. And that's where we stand. As there's 2 minutes left to go until halftime. So will the Giants play hard the second half and come back and win this, or will Dallas get the win and go to 2-2? We'll have to wait and see. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scout Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame update show. I'll be back with the Scout Sports 101 Thursday Night Football postgame show once the game between the Cowboys and Giants has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.